Hello everyone, today I'm going to be going over my pre-grind method for Prime releases and how you can reduce the grind on release day. This will be using the Syndicate method, so if you are familiar with this already, you can click off. You're not going to be learning anything from this. This will primarily be centering around Xaku's 4 and how it's really good at breaking containers. I will explain why this is important in a while if you're not familiar with this. So the build itself, you want to max out range as much as possible. Augur Reach you can do without, it's just a bit more ability range. I know it's pretty hard to get your hands on because I'm pretty sure it's only in Cetus bounties that you can get these. So if you do not have this yet, it is not a must-have. You can do this just fine with Stretch and Overextended. Otherwise, you want to have a bit of strength as well because the containers will sometimes be able to tank through your 4 if you do not have enough strength. So Precision Intensify and Transient Fortitude will help you with this. Having a bit of energy efficiency as well is nice in order to make so you can keep casting your 4 more. And Energy Nexus is nice because it will basically ensure that you always have energy for your 4 as well. Otherwise, I just have Prime Redirection here because I didn't know what else to put. It's not very necessary. You don't need to worry about it. Loot Detector and Thieves' Wit are here to make it so that you can see containers from a lot further away. Thieves' Wit, I'm pretty sure is fairly easy to get, so if you don't have this already, it would be pretty good to have. Loot Detector you can get from Nightwave. Arcanes don't matter. I just have this here for increased parkour velocity to move faster whenever I headshot an enemy and a bit more durability for higher missions. The Subsume that you can use as well also doesn't really matter all that much. You can use Golden Instinct instead of Pillage here. I just have Pillage because I sometimes want to use Container Breakers in higher level missions, and this will make it so that you just don't get insta-popped. Otherwise, your 4 is basically what you're going to be using. Archon Shards also do not really matter. I just have some energy with some effectiveness of energy orbs for my main build as well as casting speed. Once again, doesn't really matter. These are going to be level 30 enemies, and you're not going to be really noticing you performing any better with or without these. For your companion, though, doesn't really matter all that much as well. I personally use Oxalis with Botanist in order to scan plants as I go to various planets with plants on them. This will make it so that you have a lot of excess plants for Helminth as well as Apothix if you want to grind for them. It's kind of a 2-in-1. You can get the Oxalis from Fortuna from the business. But if you do not have the Oxalis, perfectly fine. You do not need it. It's just a very nice thing to have if you want some plants in your inventory. Kind of a two birds, one stone type thing. The main things that really matter for you to have on your Sentinel, or just your companion in general, is Primed Animal Instinct for more loot radar. Makes it really, really far. And Vacuum. That's really the only thing that matters, these 2 mods right here. Anything else, including Botanist, you don't really need. Once again, this is just my preference to make it so you don't have to grind as much in other departments. So, the way that this works is you go into a Syndicate mission. I'll go ahead and go into this capture mission for the parent sequence. And I will show you just what you need to do and how this generally works. You basically want to break as many containers as possible, and you want to pay attention to your radar in order to find where these medallions are. So, you will notice that whenever you use your 4, it will break all containers around you, and as you're looking at your radar, you can run around and use your vacuum on your companion to suck up any of the various items that may break from the containers. If the items are not able to be sucked up, that means that it is probably a collectible, such as an Iatan sculpture or a medallion. Most of the time it's going to be a medallion, but this is also a way to get Iatan sculptures as well. And so, as you can see, I used my 4 there, and this was not sucked up my vacuum, so that's a medallion right there. And you just basically continue going through the mission like this, using your 4 as much as you can, sucking up any of the loot that that is on your radar, and if it is not sucked up, then that means that it is able to be picked up. And as you can see right here, here's a Iatan sculpture. Not very common, but it is a possibility. In general, when it comes to Ayatan stars, you do not have to pick them up, but I like to just to get them off my minimap. And sometimes the minimap icon can block the loot drops as well, so there could be like a medallion hiding right next to it or something that you may not see. And as you can see here, we got all the medallions. If you do not get all the medallions within a mission, that is okay. You do not have to get it every single time, unless you're like hyper perfectionist and you really need to. It's not really necessary, but it does help to get as many as you can. Typically I like to aim for 6 to 8 per mission, but sometimes you can't get that, and that's okay. So I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing on Prime Release Day. In general, going to visit the syndicates themselves is a lot easier. So each of the syndicate rooms have one of these people where you can turn in your medallions, and you can trade in these medallions for standing, and this will surpass the daily standing cap, and it will also not contribute to it. So basically what you use this for is, I'll go ahead and I will add I'll add 5,000 worth of to the parent sequence, so I can just kind of showcase how this works. So I got 5,000 for the parent sequence, and you go to the standings and offerings, and from here you can buy relic packs, and you can buy as many of these as you possibly can. You buy one of these, you have a chance of getting the relics that you need for the prime that just released. Do keep in mind that whenever you do turn in these medallions, it will also increase your standing with your secondary syndicate, in which case, for parent sequence, that would be New Loka. So I turned in 5,000 worth of standing to parent sequence, so I got 2,500 to New Loka. So what you want to do is you want to continuously keep going back and forth between these two, and turning in your medallions, making sure that you spend all the standing before you turn in more. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting a lot of standing, and you probably don't want to do that. So that's basically it. If this helped at all, let me know in the comments below, or if you have any questions, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.